Hi everyone, I'm Nadine Lee. Don't let the surname fool you. Even though I live in China, I'm Australian. Residing in Beijing with my husband and our two little children just for a 12-month government posting on my husband's behalf. So I'm very pleased to be here today. Too loud? Too loud.
I hear it fine.
Testing. I'm very pleased to be here today, not only to meet all of you who are doing the good work on the ground in a range of different predominantly volunteer roles, but also because it's the first time that I've had the opportunity to meet some of the executive directors from the different SMART member organisations and also the other Smart Recovery International board directors. So that's very good to meet some of you face to face. So as was mentioned, I'm going to be presenting with Bill today. Just a bit of an overview of what we're looking at. You did hear this morning a bit of the history of Smart International, or our increasing international presence. We'll delve into that a little bit more. Look at some of the existing figures and where we are around the world. Some good examples of the global demand. It's not just us going out into the countries at the moment and the communities. It's demand coming through us. Looking at what we've been doing at the Smart Recovery International meetings of directors and in previous strategic planning sessions to look at what are our goals and why do we exist and where do we come about. And then Bill's going to delve a little bit into the global branding and positioning and give you an idea of where that fits with everything as well. So, pass over to Bill.
I don't know to what extent you guys are aware, but SMART has been in an international organization almost from the beginning. We were founded in 1994. By 1998, we had meetings going in the United Kingdom, the Inverness Prison in Scotland, thanks to the initiative Joe and his wife Barbara Thurstein, and the Inverness program, Inverness Prison later went on to adopt SMART's Inside Out program, one of the first correctional facilities to use that program. And then a year later, 1999, we were in Australia with the St. Vincent's Hospital, which has been instrumental in helping the growth of SMART in Australia through the launching in 38 meetings a few years later. So we were already well established before the turn of the 21st century in those countries. And then we got into Canada in 1999, meetings in Alberta, British Columbia, Ontario. 2 to 3 years later, Spain, Portuguese translation. That was for Brazil, but I guess we lost the meetings there. We still have the Portuguese translation. Russian translation to accommodate people there. And then Vietnam. We still have about 12 meetings in Vietnam. And again, and that's 2005. I think the year 2007 was an important landmark in our growth because that's when we opened our first independent offices, particularly in Canada, particularly in Australia and the UK. And in Australia, that was to expand the use of SMART to broaden its focus on drugs and all kinds of behavior. Previously, it was focused only on alcohol addiction. And then later on, I guess as the SMART got more and more international, SMART UK and SMART Australia got together with the US folks, and we decided it was time to create an international organization. That those deliberations began probably about 5 years ago, culminating this year, 2018, where now Smart Recovery International is an officially formed organization.
So I think this is a good prediction of future growth. I think you can see, obviously, coming from 2010 to 2018, total meetings a week have grown, but also outside of the US. In a number of other countries, the sessions have grown per week. So I think that certainly would be a good predictor of where we're going, especially once we explain a little bit more about the intentions of Smart Recovery International and growing as far as we can in a realistic pace and manner internationally. So I think that close to 3,000 is a good way of explaining our existing footprint. 1,600 in the US and 1,200 in other countries. And as you would have heard this morning in the few presentations, and as we will explain a little bit more today, it is the sound design of the Smart Recovery Program that is really underpinning the success. And that's evident more and more that I get to understand the organisation and the good work and good outcomes that we're producing. I think on top of it being an evidence-based program, one of the things that strikes me, especially from listening to other people speak about the good work that we're all doing, is that it's authentic and it's progressive and it's accepting and it's empowering for the people that are actually participating in the program. So I think that's actually what Goosebumps, that's actually really powerful. So, as is the last point here, that it's a shared passion, and we saw that in the session that we just heard from Dr. Myers around. It's about the individuals, the families, and the communities, and it's about addressing the needs of more than just the people that have the problems. So, 23 countries at the moment, and inquiries coming in continuously. So we're in a really good position, and although the formal Smart Recovery International has been established this year, we have a working board now, it is already an international organisation. So, nothing else was coming there, but I'll go back.
I want to look at a couple of countries where SMART is very well established. This will give you an idea of differences in the way it's established, as well as some of the strengths. Obviously, a very large presence in the United Kingdom. We have 550 meetings there, which is quite a large number. And there's a lot of interaction between professionals and peers, which is one of the hallmarks of the SMART program that I'll get into a little bit later when I talk about our branding. There is government funding that's available for funding the program, which is, I guess, Angie can tell you, is an advantage and a challenge at the same time. But yes, it's Angie King, by the way, the Executive Director of Smart Recovery UK. And there's a need to really nurture relations with the professional community and stay close to them as much as possible. So that's another challenge. Told about Angie, and again, professional peer partnership is very important. XR Australia, very well established, 285 meetings. I keep on having to update the number, and I think we got it almost right. Probably not. Very centralized, very organized collaboratively, very strong scientific program. They've got a good research scientific advisory committee that, I think, as Joe Bernstein told you earlier, is recognized for its achievements. Actually, Smart Recovery Australia was recognized for its scientific orientation as an NGO, which was quite a distinction for that organization given its small size. And again, good relations between peers and professionals. And if you have any more questions, Ryan. Canada, also a very large presence, but a different kind of situation. There you have a country with provinces that are relatively independent. There really isn't a central office as far as we know in Canada right now. Yet there's a very large presence in British Columbia recently, which is not one of the largest provinces. I think it's about the fourth largest. But they were able to get a lot of SMART meetings formed in relatively small communities. I think there was a government requirement for us to have evidence-based support for people trying to recover from addiction, and that requirement was able to become a major force in establishing a lot of SMART meetings, a lot of SMART family and friends meetings in British Columbia. So there's some interesting things going on there. And I think as Smart Recovery International expands, we're going to be encountering different challenges in different countries that we'll have to adapt to. Australia might be one example of we've got to deal with a country that might be relating directly to provinces more than total countries, or maybe not. Anyway, that's what we're looking at.
Yes. So, this is what I was leading to before, and it's been mentioned this morning as well. So this is not a location-based issue. This is a global issue, and it doesn't choose based on race or denomination, etc. So we've all been affected, and it's something that we can all, I'm sure, pull on the heartstrings of anyone that we're trying to engage with, locally and globally, related to garnering further support for the organisation. So what we do recognise is, and as I was alluding to, we're already producing an international effect in a positive way. But something that drew me to the organisation certainly is that because we're already present, and Joe, were you saying that we're the second largest in the world? Is that right? And so can you qualify that for me? Second largest in the world in terms of number of meetings? Okay, so that in itself, it's quite common, as I'm sure you'd understand. Normally you would be trying to solve the problem of an organisation that how do you get a great product or a great service in order to, gain your initial success and then to expand. If we've already got our fantastic offering, sometimes the problem to solve next, which I think is a very, very good one to have, is getting that global positioning and then getting the right support internationally from the right stakeholders and the right partners, and looking at how we can streamline things and how we can expand into the areas and in the ways that we want to expand. I think that's a really good problem to have, and that's certainly one of the reasons that I was attracted to the organisation. I think we've mentioned it enough here this morning, and I'm sure you'll hear that throughout the essence of the day as well, that there's an evidence base behind what we are doing, which I think is a fundamental key to quality. And so now I'd like to just move on to the Smart Recovery International makeup itself. In order to put together a board of directors, an organisation that we felt would be able to represent Smart Recovery internationally adequately, but also to have the right skill set to be able to point us in the right direction, we've built a board of directors based on those with experience in governance, legal, risk, marketing, finance, communications, and a range of other skill sets. We don't have everyone here with us today. Some are going to be joining us throughout the course of the conference. But those who are here, I would like to ask them to stand up, because I think it's in a positive sense. If you have any questions or if you have any suggestions or recommendations, then over the course of the next few days, you're welcome to approach us and to just have a chat. So myself, obviously, Brett is also our deputy chair. Jennifer, unfortunately, isn't with us and won't be joining us for personal reasons, but she's a very valued member of the board. Tony, you've already met. Meet again. Madeline, down the front here. Madeline joins us from Australia as well.
She gets the applause.
She gets the applause. And most people to introduce. Lorena is joining us tomorrow, I believe. Shiv and Christos will be joining us on teleconference over the course of the planning sessions that we have the next few days. Of course, we have Bill, and I'm led to believe we have a new representative. A new Bill, yes, a new Bill joining us, who's not up there at the moment. Very recently advised where we have a new Bill joining us, Bill Stern from the US.
Yes, he was the secretary of Smart Recovery USA, and he's been involved for the management as well. That just happened yesterday.
So in addition to the regular meetings, I think we're up to about our fourth one tomorrow, and we meet every 2 months to look at the direction and the governance of the organisation. So we've got some really good groundwork in structure and making sure that we're going to be setting ourselves up to do the right thing by everyone. But in addition, we already have a working committee for governance, finance, audit and risk. They meet every 3 months, I believe. A communications and branding committee that Bill will introduce you to some of the work for, the great work that they've been doing in a moment. We have the beginnings of a training committee, and certainly after our sessions over the next few days, we'll be looking at, as soon as possible, setting up a fundraising committee. I guess this is a good indication, and I won't go through word for word, but a good indication of the types of overarching goals that we're trying to achieve as an international organisation. Starting to look at things from a worldwide perspective, ensuring the integrity as it grows, overseeing the development of the training as well, establishing a global IT infrastructure. If you look at the opportunity that we have globally, and at the moment I'm not sure of the breakdown between face-to-face meetings and those that happen online, but certainly if we're to expand as much as possible and be accessible as much as possible, then online presence is going to be of relevance there. Research is our underpinnings for our evidence base, and certainly branding, marketing, fundraising, positioning is how we tell the story in a compelling way.
Okay. Well, we're already getting to work here, and fortunately, some of our work has already been done for us. I referred earlier to some of the translations that our handbook is already available in, and you can see there's quite a bit, and including meaning, as I said earlier, that we don't even have meetings in countries yet, so our efforts to expand in those countries will be eased by that. We have translation underway in Korean, negotiating one in Japanese, Romanian might be another language, and perhaps even Estonian as they start to move in the direction of creating smart meetings. So we're being approached by different groups that want to have meetings in their countries, so I think there's definitely a lot of interest internationally, and we're very encouraged by that. And obviously there's a strong need for smart. I mean, the global addiction problem is very serious everywhere. It's not just opioids, but it's other things like vodka, alcohol, and Russia is very serious. Meth and other drugs that are a serious problem in many areas. I think we'll be discovering how addiction is playing itself out differently in different places, and I think ideally one of the strengths of the SMART program is we can deal with any kind of addiction with the nature of our program. We'll get more into that later. And of course, it's also important to emphasize that we are the largest support group network in the world that accepts people who are medically assisted treatment. From an early stage, we set a policy that we're comfortable with people who are legally prescribed medications, and we welcome those people to our meetings, and particularly those who are recovering from opioid use disorder, and really, in many cases, have to be on medication to avoid overdoses that can often be lethal if they end up with some synthetic opioids, which I'm sure you're all aware of. Medication is very important for them. We have been doing a lot of work on branding. We have I guess for the last 6 months, we've been focusing intensely on trying to create a brand that defines SMART in such a way that it's, well, creating a brand for a single product and service in one market is one thing. Trying to do it for a global market is an entirely different kind of challenge, where you've got to account for cultural differences, language differences, the words you use, you have to be careful about, can't use really big words, I guess. That's an ongoing process, and I'm sure we'll be learning a lot as we expand and see new languages. But I have been encouraged as we've been looking at what branding work has already been done in the UK, Australia, and the US, that we're really farther along in the branding process than one might already be. This kind of thing can take years. I think we have a good start already. It also helps to have a really good product, and we really do. I think that speaks for itself when you look at the growth of the program and the international interest we're already getting without even really marketing our program very seriously internationally. So I think that's encouraging. So now I guess our major challenge is to identify exactly why we're experiencing this surge in growth. Oh, really? Okay, well, let's move right on. We've got a great subcommittee of people involved in branding, and we have a great product. In fact, it's one of a kind. It's important to note that our product is different from 12 steps, moderation, harm reduction. We mentioned a special partnership between professionals and peers. I think the brand itself begins with the efficacy of mutual support groups, but on top of that, we emphasize self-management. The principle of self-empowerment is also very key to SMART. On that, we build the program, the 4-point program. Participants choose what to put into that framework as they figure out what works for them and apply the power of choice, which is very important to us. And how we do it, I will not go into great detail now, but the 4-point program, the format, the outcome. This is all familiar to you, and you will find it on the Smart Recovery International website, which we're about to go live with, which will happen probably in the next couple of weeks. And these are tools that you can use as you try to market SMART locally. We envision our brand as okay. Right. Obviously, our science and research program is very important. Here's a first look at our website. Life Beyond Addiction. We've been trying to come up with a way to really encapsulate what SMART is and why it's important. And this is one line I think we feel is very effective. Another image from our website. And now I'm going to let Nadine finish these off.
Okay, so suffice to say, we have a bit of work to do to pull everything together and to get a good story that is reflective of the similarities across the world, but also some of the differences. I think the differences are good because we can learn from those, but they certainly shouldn't hold us back. And I guess the key message that I'd like to say in closing is to encourage everyone, regardless of whether you're a treatment provider, a regional coordinator, a facilitator, trainer, a board director or a staff member, to continue engaging and contributing to the SMART efforts, because if we truly are going to look at making life without addiction or life beyond addiction accessible for anyone globally who needs us, then we all have a small part to play in that.